Hi guys, here's a video for as an SDR, how to build a strong relationship with your sales rep. It's one of the critical factors for success, yet it's hardly ever talked about. So I wanted to leave you with some actionable points that you can take to build the best relationship possible. Now, in an ideal world, that relationship is managed by the people in charge, and they want to be ensuring that there's an information flow between the two teams, because when there isn't an information flow, it can lead to negative speculation and that phrase, that common statement, "I just don't know what they do all day." You never want to hear that. So in an ideal world, the SDR manager should be sharing to the sales reps the volume of activity that the SDRs have done and how much has converted into meetings. There needs to be a share of quality. So what is the average quality score of the meeting? What is a breakdown of the quality scores of the meetings? And finally, they need to be sharing the volume of the target audience that has been approached and what stage those conversations are at. It's definitely not a one-way street, and in return, the head of sales needs to share with the SDRs the outcome of the meetings that have been attended, what's happening with them next, how many are converting to opportunities, and what's the timeline for them to close. But we know that we don't live in an ideal world, and it's easy to say and it's less easy to do. In real life, the SDR and AE relationship is often left for the individuals to work out for themselves. Now, let's imagine that you're in a real life situation. Here are some things that you can do to get a positive relationship as quickly as possible. Firstly, meet, and I appreciate it's going to be online, meet with whoever you work with. If it's a group, make sure they're all coming together for an informal kind of get to know you. Could be a coffee, could be a beer. And the reason for the meeting, first of all, is to learn how they like to work. So set that meeting up and ask them, what's your working style and how can I complement it? Ask them, how would they approach the role? If they were an SDR, what would they be doing? Ask them, this is an important one, how do they like to communicate? Because you're going to be talking a lot. So if they love WhatsApp or they never respond to WhatsApp, you need to know that so that when you're talking, it's always in the most positive way possible. Once you've kind of learnt from them how they like to work and what's important, explain to them kind of who you are, what your strengths are and what your challenges are, and ask for their recommendations and kind of how to deal with the challenges that you're having. Let them know what your intentions are and what your ambitions are. The more they know about you, the better. And then once you've kind of had this nice open discussion, explain that you'd like to have a regular catch up, to go over what you're producing for them and what the outcome is of it. And explain that, you will provide them with all of the information they want to see, but equally it's really important that you get feedback on the meetings that they've attended, ideally that you attend some of the meetings with them. It's super important that you learn about the pipeline, the stages and the timeline to close. The reason why this is so important is not because you're trying to be their manager. Definitely don't be intimidated by their seniority. You need to know this information because you need to learn. And if your commission is linked to their sales, then it's simply a matter of being able to forecast your own commission, which is definitely something they should understand. Let them know that you will create a document or a template to gather and collect this information on a regular basis, and that you're happy to be responsible for the upkeep of it. You don't want them feeling like this is extra work. They're very busy people and they do work in a highly pressured role. So you need to be understanding of that, but you also need to make sure that the meeting happens regularly. Really, it should be like every 2 weeks, but appreciate it may be every month, but it shouldn't be any longer than that. So it's down to you to make sure that the meeting happens and the information is collected. And I know now this probably sounds and feels like a huge amount of extra work. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, admin, more admin. But it's super important, and I'm going to share with you 4 reasons why it's really important to do this. Number 1, When you have these regular conversations about what you're doing and what's happening with it, it means you're in control of the quality conversations around the work that you're doing, which is important for your personal brand. And it means that no one is going to be having a negative conversation about what you're doing or not doing behind your back. You're going to be there and you're going to be present. Number two, it's really important that you have these conversations, because the closer you are to your sales reps, the more you're going to learn from them. Right, number three, by doing this, you're demonstrating early managerial skills by organising and enabling discussions that contribute towards success. And number four, once trust has been established with your sales reps, and I appreciate this may take longer than a year, you're going to have amazing allies. And think, if you're booking meetings, these fantastic meetings which turn into sales, they are going to help you every step of the way when it comes to working on your promotion and your next step. So it's a lot of work at the front, but in the long run, you'll definitely get the rewards from it. And if you want to read more on this, I recommend reading Battle of the SDR Appointments, which discusses how to objectively count whether a meeting is good quality or not. Thanks. Bye.